45 right now. Here's something most people hate. Tax season is here and the paperwork's starting to arrive in the mailbox. But before you file, there's some big changes that could affect your bottom line this year.
Brian Abel breaks down the biggest changes.
You remember the so-called One Big Beautiful Bill that passed back in July? Well, with it came new tax provisions and a whole set of tax changes as well. So let's try and navigate some of the biggest ones in what's already a complex U.S. tax code.
Filing your taxes.
It's very confusing.
And even more so this tax season. Why? The passage of President Trump's signature law, the so-called One Big Beautiful Bill, that's ushered in a handful of tax changes. Let's highlight the big ones, starting with higher standardized deductions. For singles, it was $15,000.
For 2025, it goes up to $15,750.
SALT stands for state and local taxes. And it was a key sticking point during negotiations of the bill. There's a cap on how much in SALT one can pay depending on adjusted gross income.
The old law was a $10,000 cap. Now you can get anywhere from $10,000 to $40,000 in 2025.
But John Karp from accounting firm Whitley Penn says, don't forget how the standardized deductions factor in.
Remember, you got to first crest that hurdle of the standard deduction of $31,500 if you're married filing joint. So if you never can get to your itemized deductions, the state and local taxes don't matter anyway because it's an itemized deduction.
Another change is for all of the servers out there.
That's no tax on tips.
With some caveats.
No tax on tips is capped at $25,000 per return. So if you have a married filing joint couple, they only get $25,000. It's not $25,000 per person.
And for qualifying children, the child tax credit is $200 more this year. There's also the so-called Trump accounts for any child born after 2024. The easiest way to get that $1,000 account is to file a 4547 form with your taxes this year. The IRS will be accepting filing starting January 26. In Washington, Brian Abel reporting.
I'm the worst, too. I don't know why I always file an extension to put it off. Larry, I'm going to get it done early this year.
Okay,
my
Larry.
tax guy.
Larry.